There are more than 350,000 babies born each day. Boys and girls of all cultures learn more during their infant years than any person can learn in a lifetime. Their minds, like sponges, soak up the environment we live in. Since infants cannot focus or analyze thoughts, they constantly absorb all stimuli in their environment. Thus, the baby's mind is, in a way, more capable of learning than the adult mind. Infants react to every pin that drops, every dog that barks, and every source of light.
A 2.5-year-old sees a napkin, and the napkin is it's not something to just wipe your hands with. It's a blanket for her baby. It's a parachute. It's the whole world in a grain of sand idea. To me, it's a napkin, and that's sad.
Okay? Go help Daddy get it.
Wow, okay. Well, that's definitely going to put some stimulus in the room. Patrick, don't hurt her. Be nice. You trying to kiss her? Oh, yes, unfortunately.
I think just naturally babies are sort of sensory-seeking beings in that they learn through their senses, they learn through their visual sense, and a lot of what I do is teaching infants and children to learn to eat, which is eating is a huge sensory experience. Infants and children learn through sensory modalities. That's how they explore and learn about their world. And I think as adults, we're just so programmed to focus, tune it out, and multitask, and we're just losing sight of a lot of sensory information. I think that our early sensory experiences sets the stage for your ability to integrate the adult sensory world.
He has a nickname, Amber. I don't know exactly where.
Patrick.
Well, with the population that I see, they're primarily babies born premature. So their mind is getting all of this sensory input, the world, that they shouldn't be getting from their birth date. And with our piece here, a big part is getting to know their behavior and how they respond to the world. And we want to minimize that stress to help their minds, because ultimately we're affecting how their brain is being mapped.
As adults, we have developed our sensory system such that we can be in a busy mall a couple days before Christmas. If you had a child that was adopted from an orphanage and hadn't integrated from a sensory standpoint and you put them in that environment, it would be disastrous.
There's a narrowing of the range of things that adults become sensitized to, and it tends to be a fairly narrow range of sensory experience that impacts a given adult past a certain point, and it can require some conscious effort to pay attention to and be affected by other kinds of stimuli.
You give her a kiss today? Did you give your sister a kiss? Oh, yeah! You come on, my bear. Oh, thank the Lord. For a little kid, she's heavy. Patrick, that's his leg.
What's up for the summer? Anything?
It took an enormous amount of imagination to, figure out that you could cut music into the grooves of a record. It took an enormous amount of imagination to figure out that you could, put 5,000 songs on this little thing, so there are practical, obviously there are practical advantages. It's no surprise that when kind of formal education really gets going, that there's a lot of resistance to it, because the child brain, even the adolescent brain, is not really ready to focus and constrain itself to cause and effect relationships only, and practical reality, and this notion of you should learn history, because knowing how these set of circumstances came to be will help you later in life to carry out some other task that's going to be important to you. That sort of logic, while I think resonant in some way, isn't really what is primarily going on in the brain.